Yo, what is going on, people? It's Kev Life here. As you can see, I got a little S&S bag over here, so I got myself a little something. You're probably guessing what it is. You will see in a second, but yeah, I won a raffle at S&S, so let's check out what it is. Got to go in store also. You know, I just did the New York City raffle of it. Sorry for the shakiness. Yes, I bought another Quantum. Yes, I did. I know, I'm crazy. I'm a crazy person. I'm buying all the Quantums. Anyway, it is the, it says Flora on it. It does say Flora on it. It is the orange Quantum that came out recently. Won a raffle on S&S. I wanted to get one in person just so I could review it, you know, or I guess early review, kind of. A little early review. Unfortunately, I was going to do a review down in the meatpacking district where S&S is, but had to do something, and long story short, I just wasn't able to do a review down there. Had some other stuff, had to help some people out, so you know, it is what it is, but it is Sunday. Wow, it's Sunday. And I'm going to do a review of these Quantums, these orange Quantums. And honestly, these Quantums, sorry for the shakiness. Alright. Honestly, they're nice looking, but they should have came out in the fall. I don't know why they released this in the summer. But, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna let you look at that. I'm gonna crack open an orange Red Bull, because it's orange themed today. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. It didn't get it didn't get on the sneakers. It's okay. I'm dying here. I didn't expect a Red Bull to do that. Okay. So, you know what? Let me nah, we're gonna do this interview. I'm not getting a napkin. I'm not getting a napkin. Actually, wow, okay, the details on this are actually pretty good. So when I first got it, first looked at it yesterday, you know, at the store, I was a little disappointed, only because this is not plastic. It's not that TPU plastic. Instead, what we have here is more of like a see-through mesh here, and I don't know what you'd call this. It says it here, whatever this is called, it says it around here. And, you know, obviously it's not plastic. I don't want to say it's mesh either. It's something a little different. But ultimately it's just not a plastic. And that disappointed me a little bit. But as I look at it, something I do realize is that this area is see-through. So if you get like a close look inside, you can almost see a pattern on the inside, which is pretty interesting. I guess that's the shell, and that's what the shell looks like if you could see through it. So that is pretty cool and interesting. It would be cool if they made like a Quantum, or maybe this was like the whole thing, and you can actually see what's inside completely, but that's actually pretty cool. That is a pretty nice detail. I did not expect that. What else can I really say about the sneaker? Of course, it is an orange theme, and you'd think that they'd release this during the fall, but for some reason they didn't. They decided to drop it in the summer. The only thing I can think of is if, like, I don't want to sound downtrodden or like a conspiracy theorist. The only thing I can think of is if Yeezy has kind of given up on Quantums, and they want to like release them all now. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to space it out. They don't want to release this in the fall. They don't want to release another one later. They kind of just want to get rid of all of it in calendar year 2021, which would be a shame. I don't know that to be true. That's just like a speculation, wild speculation here. Another thing to note, this is not the basketball version. They did not come out with basketball versions of these. They only came out with the lifestyle model. You know, other thing to note is here you have a suede, but it's much more fine. than the other Quantums. So different suede feel there, much more fine. This is maybe a little, you know, almost like cream with a tint of orange. This kind of layer right here, this right there. Cream with a tint of orange. Let's see. You could also see the bottom. That's kind of like the color of the bottom also. It kind of matches the same color as this. So there is that, right? So that's kind of the color of that, you know, Boost. And, you know, a lot of this is the same as other Boosts, I will say. But the kind of like the midsection right here is pretty cool, right? The fact that you could see through it. Obviously the color being different, but also the fact you can see through it. And that kind of gives you a little perspective as to what the inner plastic looks like, right? Since this is not the basketball version, this is not padded, you know, these are not padded. This doesn't stretch out. It's kind of stiff. In my opinion, I think the basketball version just fits better. I think if Yeezy wants to simplify their manufacturing, they could just make every model the basketball model, and I think that would be a lot better, right? Just for simplifying the releases, you know, maybe making their production a bit cheaper, because I do find the basketball is a little better than the regular version. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Nothing really else to say here. I'll check if they have any other laces. I doubt it. So yeah, they didn't give me any extra laces. If you like this sneaker and you weren't able to enter a raffle, or you missed the raffles, or you didn't know this was dropping, honestly, you know, this is a day after release, right? Honestly, it's probably still in stock. You know, I would say, I know some Foot Lockers in New York City actually did release this. I don't remember the ones off the top of my head, but you could try some Foot Lockers. You could try like the bigger Foot Lockers in Manhattan. They might have these in stock. You could try S&S online or even in store. You could give Bodega a try. A-Life online, I'd give them a try. BBC Ice Cream probably released this, I don't know for sure. What else? What other shops? Kith, I'd give Kith a try, in store and online. They probably still have these on stock. Because the thing about Quantums is they're not hype, right? They're not. I like the Quantum, you know, I picked these up because they did look different. But yeah, Quantums unfortunately are not hype, so if you want a pair, you know, and it's, you know, if you want a pair and it's only a week. In fact, I take that back. I remember the Frozen Blues stayed in stock for like a month, right? So you have like a month to get these legitimately. Usually the bigger sizes do sell out first. Smaller sizes just don't do as good for this model. And even if they're like sold out everywhere, check StockX, check eBay, check Rails, because there'll be people who are dumb enough to buy this for resale, and they're gonna have to sell it at a loss, because unfortunately this is a brick. As much as I like it, it is a brick. So first, go for those retail stores like I just mentioned. Those are all sold out. Check secondary markets. In fact, if you want to save money, honestly, just try to buy it off a secondary market. You might have to wait a couple months for it to dip below retail on the secondary market. But if you're willing to wait and your main objective is to just save money, wait a couple months, find it on the secondary market for a discount. The one caveat to all that is if this is limited. I don't think this is any more limited than the other Quantums, but I could be wrong about that. What do I know? Now I'm gonna give you some on feet, so stay tuned.